Hey everyone, how's it going? If you guys know me very well, you guys know that I am not necessarily a camera expert, but I am a vlogger. In that being said, I do have experience with these cameras and such. This time we're talking about the GoPro Hero 8. So I used my GoPro Hero 8 quite a bit when I was doing the Trek to Turtle Mountain video. I'm not gonna lie, man, there was so much stuff I wish I knew before I went on that trip. For any of you guys interested, I'll take that video down in the description below. So if you're curious, go check it out after. Now the camera that I usually use... Okay, so this is the camera I usually use. I run a Sony a6400. What's this stuff, you ask? Don't worry about it. I mean, like, if you're a subscriber, I guess this is a very early sneak glimpse. Other than that, don't worry about it. It's secret. Now see, there's a very, very peculiar reason why I got the GoPro Hero 8 even though I have a Sony camera. And this is why. Super view. Super view is a great option. It gives you a ton of visible room. You can probably see my arm and it's flailing way out. Even if I bring you right up close, you can still probably see all the way around my head. It's a really good feature, especially if you're using it for riding something like this or any other kind of sport that you're really trying to do. Normally speaking, you guys would be mounted right here on my sports bike helmet. If you guys watch the Trek to Turtle Mountain video, you'll definitely see some first-person action. So although it's a very compact camera with a lot of really cool features, media mod integration, super view, with all of that combined, it's still not a perfect camera, and I feel like you still might be better off just getting a mirrorless camera depending on your needs. I've heard and seen tons of videos saying why you should or why this camera is perfect, and this is 5 reasons why it is not. And then a follow-up from what happened at Trek to Turtle Mountain. So I left you guys in super view mode for a very specific reason. I'm hoping you can tell, but if you look in this bottom right corner over here, you'll actually see that there is a... The lens already got cracked.
Took a rock?
Yeah, it must have. Just on the corner you can see it chipped. Now I only got to actually use this camera once on my bike for my first road trip, and already I've had the back screen and the front screen crack. Now the front screen on the GoPro Hero 7, you could actually replace it. You could twist it off, pop it off, whatever, and replace it with a new one. Very cheap, easy fix. GoPro Hero 8, however, you can't do that. You have to send it in, get someone to repair it, and it sucks, and it's gonna cost you money. So what are we to do if we don't wanna send it in every single time that we use it? Well, what I did, and what most people would actually do, is they get little lens protectors. So yeah, that's pretty much our tempered glass. Now that's fine and dandy, but the fact of the matter is, you're gonna have those things shatter all the time. I believe, like, I didn't get hit by any rocks. I believe what happened was I actually had a little mosquito hit the lens and it shattered. So you're installing fragile glass on these action cameras and it just doesn't work very well. That was my first gripe. Now I can take you guys out of super view. So my second complaint is basically this weird integration. I don't know what to call it. Inoperable touchscreen. But I had you guys mounted on my helmet. Here. When I was riding, I was fully focused on the road. I was not messing around with the camera. I was not touching the camera. Sure, I would click it on and off, but that's about it. Now, checking the camera settings before I actually started shooting, everything was fine. But as I'm riding, it went into slow motion mode and the camera flipped upside down and it just did a lot of really weird things. Maybe it was just a really bad first time experience, but I'm definitely gonna be screen locking the camera every single time that I use it on the bike from now on though. Luckily enough, that is a feature, but still, that kind of stuff shouldn't be happening. Now, the third thing is actually probably one of the biggest benefits to the camera is also hyper smooth, because I can be full out running, walking, sprinting, doing whatever, and it all looks smooth to you guys, where normally you'll see a lot of micro jitters. I'll show you what it looks like without. Here's me holding it steady with a little bit of sway. And here's me standing still with a little bit of sway. So Hyper Smooth is actually a very cool tool, and that was me using it on high, not boost. Boost is even more of a stabilization. The one thing I'll say though is it looks really trashy when you're using it with a tripod application. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna spin you guys, I'm gonna put you down and you're gonna see it shift. It's just a part of the camera, but I just wish it didn't look so trashy and noticeable. Now the next thing I need to say is that the screen feels extremely unresponsive. This is the most annoying thing I find about the camera. Is you're using it, you're trying to at least, and it only picks up on your hands like 1 out of every 4 or 5 tries. I almost expected it to feel like an iPhone, you know, where you could just flick through and it just felt nice, especially for the price point of the camera compared to competitors. And this is like the luxury, like the premium action camera. But I'm here to tell you, mine at least does not feel all that great. It is not very fluent. I'll try to swipe up to see my already captured media like 8 different times before I can get it to work once, and it'll open up different things, and it's very slow and clunky. Doesn't feel nice. As you can tell, it's not a lot of fun to use a camera that's not really listening to your inputs. It's very, very frustrating. Trust me. I kind of had an idea that this was going to be the case, but GoPros hate Macs, or at least my Mac. If you guys are more interested to see what exactly my computer is, because you're curious if it's going to work for yours, I'll have a video right up there, but I'll also put it in the description down below so you guys can check it out after the video, of course. I tried to transport the files, and I have done it multiple times, and it comes back with like this error code every single time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It fluctuates so much, but comparative to my actual true camera, this is so much more difficult, and it is very frustrating when you have to download all your content on your phone and then from your phone transfer it to your computer, which I've had to do in the past. Alternatively, here's some stuff that you don't want to do if you get your bike inside a rainstorm.
Hail and heavy rain coming down once again in parts of the city. In certain parts, drivers could only get through by driving on the shoulder. The storm in Calgary, which was making its way to the east, had the potential to damage property or cause injury.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is if you're unsure, wear rain gear.
I told you to have rain gear, didn't I?
Oh man. Now, was it supposed to rain on us? No. It wasn't supposed to rain until about 11 o'clock at night. We'll be back home by supper, so we're fine. Not the case. Yeah, I really need more rain gear. Okay, now the second item is a little bit more my issue, but my bike has a kickstand sensor delete. Normally, if you have the kickstand down like such, it'll send an electric signal and it'll say, hey, let's shut off the bike. And then you'll probably hop off and be like, oh, the kickstand was down. I feel like an idiot for a minute, but you know, you'll get over it. I feel like a little bit of an idiot as well, but it still hasn't changed. This guy is supposed to actually be completely straight, but that is bent. So what happened, you ask? I had my camera settings backwards. I thought I captured it. When I thought it was on, it was actually off. When it was off, I thought it was actually on. It sucked. Well, in the middle of the rainstorm, we pull up to a red light. I hop off the bike. I run up to his window and I say something to him. I run back to my bike and I'm like sitting there waiting to go, and then it turns green and I start going and I dip into the corner and all of a sudden the whole bike skips. It was bad. It was a little sketchy. I caught it, thankfully, but my kickstand was still down and my bike literally lifted, like the back tire lifted off the ground momentarily and then back into a puddle of water that was like yay thick. It was great. My shoes were very soaked. But the big issue I had is that when I got back to the house, I stored my bike away and I went for supper. And I guess it was raining so hard that enough water got into my lock that my key would no longer turn. I would legitimately put it in and it would go and then it just would not turn. I couldn't get it to go. I couldn't lock the steering wheel, nothing. I can actually use my key again, but water does not like to go in there, so don't let that happen. And if it does, this is what I did. Originally I put in some like silicone spray. I noticed though, as I was putting my key in trying to turn it again, that gray stuff was coming out. That says to me graphite. So I put graphite back in, just sprayed it in here and there, sunk my key in a few more times and kept trying to turn it and spraying more, spraying it on the key and then putting it in. And a few minutes later, it did start to work again, but that was super sketchy. Second thing, like I said, I went to supper after. A long, nice bubble bath. For the guys that watched that video, you guys know what's up. And it's kind of hard to see. I mean, I don't know if the camera's actually going to pick it up. My chain began to rust a little bit. I sprayed it off pretty soon the following day, But yeah, like make sure if you go through a rainstorm, I should have thought of this. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I was just, because I was in the storm, I wasn't thinking clearly. But definitely spray your chain when you get back home. Clean it if you want and then spray it, or just spray it and then clean it the next day. Make sure you got lubricant on there, boys and ladies. So these are the few things that I wish I knew before I used the GoPro and before I went on that ride. I wish I either was smarter about or just thought of after. Regardless, I hope this video helped you guys kind of become more knowledgeable about either the GoPro product or maybe how to be safe during a storm by not leaving your kickstand down. I'd appreciate it if you guys would give the video a big fat thumbs up. And if you guys really enjoyed, maybe go and check out some of the other videos that I have on the channel. I promise I try to do a good job and I would much appreciate it. Hopefully you guys don't end up going through a storm like I did. Stay safe out there and have a good one.
Oh, hello, baby.
Okay, it is hot as balls out there and I really hope, but I don't know if we do. Oh my God, yes, we have root beer. Could end really bad. Okay, cool. You guys do not know how much this means to me. I haven't had root beer for like 2 months. Oh my God, that is so good. I don't know what was going in the outro, but this is now.